Next week on The Young and the Restless, Mariah turns to Daniel for help. Here's a look ahead at the episodes we'll see from Monday, September 15th to Friday, September 19th, 2025. Next week on The Young and the Restless, relationships continue to fracture throughout Genoa City as Kane's presence is dividing loyalties, causing secrets, and sending stress levels through the roof. In the park, Mariah meets with Daniel. She's asked for his help, but will Daniel do what Mariah wants, what he believes Tessa needs, or will he put his own feelings first? "Did you do what I asked?" Mariah asks him, but he shakes his head and lets her know that he didn't tell Tessa he was there. What is Mariah up to, and will Daniel help her? Billy has run the risk of losing his relationships in trade for revenge against Victor. Diane has been confident all along that Jack was making a mistake by supporting his brother's latest endeavors, opening Abbott Communications. When the launch party was canceled by Kane, Diane made sure to rile up Jack that his brother had screwed up yet again. Jack accused Billy of failure, and they wound up arguing, resulting in Jack pulling his investment and Abbott Communications being non-existent. Sally talks to Diane, but when she tells her that Billy is about to make the biggest mistake of his life, will she care? Or will Diane help Sally find a way to save Billy? Meanwhile, Billy has decided on his future. Will he go after Victor and Chancellor? Or will he decide to put his vengeful ideas behind him once and for all? Billy goes to see Kane, who reminds him that he's dreamt of the day he could take down Victor, and now he has the chance to do exactly that. "All you gotta do is say yes, and you can let the dismantling of Newman Enterprises begin," Kane tempts. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Jack, played by Peter Bergman, has at times, on The Young and the Restless, given love and tough love to his brother Billy. However, this week, the senior Abbott sibling emphasized the tough after Billy fell back into some bad habits. For Bergman's performance as a man who'd had enough, Soap Central is bestowing upon him our Performer of the Week for Y&R honors. Bergman started laying the groundwork for Jack and Billy's confrontation at his home, as Jack thought that his brother was being irresponsible by canceling the Abbott Communications party. Unbeknownst to Jack, it was Kane who canceled the launch party. But given Billy's past of instability on The Young and the Restless, when it comes to business and other matters, Jack got riled up about it. This was not a good sign that Billy was stable, Jack thought. "What the hell is going on, Billy?" Jack demanded to know. While Bergman was playing Jack at a certain level of intensity, viewers soon discovered that he was just getting started. Jack had forked over a lot of money to help make Abbott Communications a success. He wanted an answer immediately as to why the gala was postponed. Billy wanted to keep Jack in the dark about Kane's reasons for hitting the pause button, so he came up with some excuses as to why the party was off. Bergman has always played Jack as a very savvy man, and he didn't let his fury blind him to logic. One of the fun parts of watching him is seeing Jack put the pieces together, as he did once he took a look at Billy and Sally's party outfits. "Wait a minute," Jack said, as he realized there was more to the picture than met the eye. "When was this decision made, given that the two of you are dressed for the event as planned? This wasn't about finding another approach. Something or someone happened to block the launch." "You're holding out on me again, Billy." Bergman raised Jack's intensity level when Jack realized there was a bigger issue than the canceled party going on. Billy was getting out of control again and letting his demons control him. Once Sally revealed that Kane was behind calling off the party, Jack grew curious. Bergman diminished Jack's intensity level once he knew Kane was involved, but when Billy stonewalled Jack, he revved it up again. "Tell me why Kane canceled the launch. If you can't do that, then maybe we need to discuss our arrangement. This is untenable." "It won't happen again, I promise you," said Jack. Bergman lowered his voice on that last line, but he also added a double meaning to it. Billy was out of second, third, and fourth chances. Jack threatened to not only yank his money, but also the Abbott name. Billy attempted to argue that Abbott was his name too. "It is our father's name," Jack angrily reminded his younger brother, in a voice so loud it could have summoned the ghost of John Abbott from that great beyond. "I'm not going to let you plaster it on some company you can give to someone else." Jack had given Billy chance after chance on the young and the restless, and Billy dropping the ball hurt Jack. Bergman infused Jack's hurt with fury and anger. "No wonder you were so easy about Sally taking over. It was just a placeholder for you," Jack blasted Billy. "While you went after what you really want. Chancellor is your newest addiction, isn't it? And you will do anything to get your fix. Forget family, forget your promises. I gave you my money, I gave you my support, I gave you my undying faith in my brother, and you're throwing this in my face. We're done here, Billy. You're on your own. Good luck," Jack said before walking out on his brother. There are a lot of business storylines happening on The Young and the Restless. This specific one between Billy and Jack is the show's most successful because it's never about the money or the position or the company. It's about the emotions behind the business dynamics. Bergman, a 3-time Daytime Emmy winner, understands that, which is one of the many reasons he delivered a performance that was so gut-wrenching. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Tuesday, September 16th, reveal that Chelsea Lawson will get some alarming news while Claire Newman delivers a warning. Sally Spectra will also prepare to take drastic action, so there'll be a lot happening on the CBS soap. For starters, Kyle Abbott will await Claire's answer after asking her if they can hit the reset button. As much as Claire would like to forget about the pain of Kyle's betrayals and wild moves lately, she can't do that. Claire may warn that it's not that simple and argue that Kyle can't be looking for a quick fix here. If Kyle and Claire are going to make their relationship work, it's going to take some time and effort to rebuild trust. That said, Claire might argue that there are things Kyle can do to move their reconnection along. Kyle can start by backing off Holden Novak and accepting that Claire can spend time with anyone she likes. Y&R spoilers say Kyle will have to shove down some negative feelings on Tuesday's show, so he may assure Claire that he'll trust her judgment regarding Holden. Kyle's instincts will still be screaming at him to protect Claire, but he might promise to take a step back anyway. Over with Sally. She'll dig her heels in when it comes to Billy Abbott's alliance with Kane Ashby being a bad idea. Billy suggested he could merely use the threat of this AI software to get Victor Newman to do what he wants him to do. However, Sally won't think threatening Victor will work, and won't believe Kane can be trusted either. Sally's concerns are warranted since Kane plans to secretly remain in control of the AI program after handing it over. Billy may think he's in the driver's seat, but Kane will be the one controlling what the software does. Sally will be in the dark on that plan, but she'll still see the potential for catastrophe. That's why Sally will ultimately feel like drastic action has to be taken to save Billy from himself. Although Sally may think Jack Abbott is her best hope for assistance, it looks like she'll give Diane Jenkins Abbott updates on the situation first. In the meantime, Adam Newman will set off some alarm bells for Chelsea. It sounds like Adam will admit he talked to Victor about scoring the AI software and testing it out on Abbott Communications. Adam felt confident that he could get Chelsea on board, but she'll have some concerns once he pitches the scheme. Chelsea may think there are a lot of ways this could end in disaster and feel a little guilty about taking a wrecking ball to Billy's media company. That said, Chelsea has definitely been a little more Team Newman lately, so Adam should be able to convince her to relent. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Chelsea will still have some concerns, but she'll at least appreciate Adam's honesty and his willingness to include her in his plans. The Young and the Restless update for the week of September 15th and 19th reveals that Lauren Fenmore Baldwin will have a dazzling triple surprise for Christine Blair. Jack Abbott will also have an ominous message for Nikki Newman, so here's what Y&R viewers can look forward to. For starters, Phyllis Summers will be on high alert when Michael Baldwin meets with her about his new job. Now that Michael is also employed by Kane Ashby, he'll hope to find common ground with Phyllis and become pals again. However, Phyllis knows Michael well enough to realize when he's hiding something. Michael will indeed be keeping secrets when it comes to his arrangement with Victor Newman, so he'll struggle to throw Phyllis off the trail. Over with Kyle Abbott. He may end up delivering an apology to Holden Novak in an attempt to appease Claire Newman. Kyle will be desperate for a clean slate, but Claire will force him to work for it. Unfortunately, Kyle and Claire have more obstacles brewing in their relationship, so the quick fix that Kyle's after simply doesn't exist. Over with Kane. He'll hide the truth from Billy Abbott when it comes to the AI software he's offering. Billy thinks he'll have control once Kane surrenders it, but it's Kane who'll still be in charge of that software and what it'll accomplish. After Kane sends Amanda Sinclair to befriend Lily Winters and see where her head is at, he'll turn on the charm with his ex-wife later. Kane will also push Billy to repair his bond with Jill Abbott and will eventually launch a brainstorming session with some key players, so he'll be a busy man all week long. Over with Jack, he'll have an unsettling warning for Nikki regarding her husband. Nikki will have concerns when Jack delivers an ominous message about Victor and the multiple feuds he's part of. Jack will ultimately seek Victoria Newman's assistance, so we'll see if he wants her to betray Victor somehow, or just talk some sense into Billy. Either way, Victoria probably won't be of much help. Back with Billy, he'll face a difficult blow when it comes to his Chancellor and Abbott communications agenda. Billy will have a stumbling block in his path, so stay tuned for updates on what he'll do next. In the meantime, Mariah Copeland will convince Daniel Romalotti Jr. to meet her without Tessa Porter's knowledge. Mariah will launch a confrontation, so she may demand answers about Daniel's true feelings for Tessa. In the end, part of Mariah may wonder if Tessa would be better off with Daniel instead of her. Across town, Lauren will deliver a triple surprise that's sure to dazzle Christine. Since Lauren promised 3 different wedding dress options, she seems poised to keep that promise and give Christine some wonderful possibilities to choose from. Christine may be impressed over how fast Lauren was able to come through with these bridal gowns. Even so, there'll be some snags when it comes to the nuptials Christine and Danny Romalotti are planning, so fans can expect some delays. The Young and the Restless spoilers say some highs and lows are ahead as Christine and Danny prepare to tie the knot, so stick with us for more news about their upcoming marriage ceremony. The Young and the Restless recap for Monday, September 15th, reveals that Kyle Abbott will deliver a reset button plea to Claire Newman, while Kane Ashby plots a sneaky Billy Abbott setup. In the park, Claire will complain to Victoria Newman about Kyle digging a deeper hole for himself. Victoria will get updates on the $5 million contract and Kyle's promise to leave town if he broke her heart, so be impressed despite how outrageous it all was. Claire will also talk about the latest Holden Novak drama and how possessive Kyle has become, so Victoria will think Kyle's terrified of losing her. At Crimson Lights, Nate Hastings will run into Kyle, who'll wonder if Nate's going to punch him over what happened with Audra Charles. However, Nate will consider Kyle a victim too, and will assure him that fists aren't going to fly. Kyle will be sorry for what Nate's going through and argue that he's better off without Audra, so Nate will unfortunately have to agree. At one point, Kyle will question Nate about Holden, so Nate will admit he thinks the guy's bad news. There'll be a discussion about Holden's interest in Audra and their history in Los Angeles, so Nate will have a lot of the same concerns that Kyle has. Kyle will fret over Holden taking advantage of Claire while she's vulnerable, but Nate will act like that's just the kind of person he is, and will seem to think Holden's hung up on Audra. Claire and Victoria will show up, so Nate and Kyle will invite them to sit at their table. After Kyle hints about swapping war stories, Claire will assume they were talking about Audra, and perhaps Holden too. Kyle will suggest the conversation was too boring to repeat, and try to steer them to other topics. Nate will ultimately talk about Amy Lewis still staying with him and will have a sympathy card from her to Victoria and Claire in the car. While Victoria and Nate step outside to get it, Claire will push Kyle for the truth about his earlier Nate discussion. Kyle will admit he asked Nate about Holden, and that his suspicions were confirmed. Claire will gripe about not needing Kyle to protect her, since she has great self-preservation skills, but Kyle will remain concerned. As for the drama Kyle continues to cause in their relationship, he'll acknowledge how scared he is of losing Claire, and will beg for a chance to hit the reset button. On Kane's train, he'll meet with Amanda Sinclair and wonder what her relationship with Lily Winters is like these days. Amanda will think Lily still sees Hillary Curtis when she looks at her, but she'll admit Lily also has sympathy since Devon Winters cheated on her with Abby Winters. Lily can relate since Daniel Romalotti Jr. cheated on her too. Kane will encourage Amanda to cultivate that sympathy into a friendship and try to get insight into Lily's feelings for him. Kane will want to know if Lily can ever see the good in him again. As for Kane's plan to hand over the AI software to Billy, Amanda will wonder if he's sure about that. Kane will reveal that he'll still be in control of the software and can mandate what it does, but Billy will be in the dark on that part. Amanda will worry about what'll happen if Billy finds out, but Kane will insist on going with his risky plan. Once Amanda leaves, Kane will text Billy to ask if they're a go. At Society on Monday's Y&R episode, Lily will talk to Devon about the mess Kane's created with the twins and her complicated feelings about everything. There'll be a tense vibe when Amanda shows up and talks about how she'll be in town more often now that Kane's relocated. Amanda will hope that won't be a problem for Devon and Abby. After Amanda plays up how devastated Kane is about the situation with the kids, she'll ask to speak with Lily alone. That'll give Lily a chance to comment on Amanda seemingly still missing Devon. In the park, Michael Baldwin will tell Phyllis Summers that they're playing for the same team now. Phyllis will find out Michael accepted Kane's job offer, so she'll question how Kane pulled Michael out of retirement. Michael will talk about wanting to repair his relationship with Phyllis, so she'll acknowledge that they're the best and will make a dream team for Kane. That said, Phyllis will still have some anger and hurt feelings over Michael's past betrayal. Michael will act like he took this job because he wanted to fix things between them, but Phyllis will doubt that when she learns he's leaving Lauren Fenmore Baldwin out of the loop. That'll raise Phyllis's suspicions even more. But Michael will suggest he might have to do something for Kane that isn't above board. Michael will contend that this is his way of leaving Lauren out of it, but Phyllis will suspect there's a deeper agenda in play. Phyllis will demand to know what Michael's secret is, or else she'll convince Kane not to trust him. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Michael will have a tight spot to wiggle out of, so stay tuned to see how he'll handle Phyllis's pressure. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Devon Winter's cheating story may have leaked, so is an Amanda Sinclair affair brewing? That's an option to consider based on some new clues about what's in store. Devon hasn't had much to do lately, other than be a source of support for Nate Hastings and Lily Winters. It's good that Lily and Nate have Devon to open up to, but many fans would like to see Devon get some different material. Of course, Devon will continue to be there for Lily as she struggles over her messy feelings for Kane Ashby. There'll be some concerns about Kane reeling Lily back in and potentially hurting her, so Devon will definitely keep an eye on that situation. However, Devon will thankfully branch out with another source of drama this autumn. Based on Y&R head writer and executive producer Josh Griffith's interview with TV Insider, Devon has some intriguing stuff coming up. It turns out the storyline involving Mariah Copeland, Tessa Porter, and Daniel Romalotti Jr. will affect Devon in some way. There'll be some events related to that story that throw Devon into his own challenge and threat to his family. That makes it sound like Devon's story will be a separate thing that ultimately moves away from all the Mariah, Tessa, and Daniel messiness. Perhaps Devon will be a bit shaken up over Tessa and Mariah's once stable marriage falling apart so rapidly. It could affect Devon's view of his own solid marriage with Abby Winters, which perhaps may not be so solid after all. Could Devon's challenge involve some Amanda temptation that's on the horizon? Will that be the threat to Devon's family, since an affair could indeed blow his family apart? In the September 15th episode, Lily will get the feeling that Amanda misses Devon and is perhaps still pining for him deep down. Whether that's true or not, Devon does have a history with Amanda, one that could ultimately be revisited. Amanda was devastated when Devon cheated on her with Abby, but what goes around often comes around on a soap. Abby could be the one who gets cheated on next if Amanda can't resist Devon either. Regardless, the Young and the Restless spoilers say Devon has some twists and turns in his future, so stick with us for updates on any bad news ahead for his marriage. Here is your weekly recap of The Young and the Restless for the episodes that aired September 8th through 12th, 2025. This week on The Young and the Restless, Claire was stunned when Victor defended Kyle, insisting that Kyle had passed his test. Claire's trust in Kyle further wavered when Victor alluded to the agreement he and Kyle had made. Claire accused Kyle of not telling her about kissing Audra to avoid paying Victor. Sally worried that Audra's obsession over Kyle and Claire would ruin the Abbott Communications launch party. Holden threatened to destroy Audra by revealing what she had done in LEA if she didn't back off Claire. Claire was peeved when she walked in on Kyle ordering Holden to stay away from her. Holden admitted to Claire that he liked everything about her. Billy lent Sally a brooch that Catherine had given Delia to wear to the launch party for luck. Billy and Sally arrived at the event, only to discover that Kane had called it off. After Nick filled Phyllis in about how damaging Kane's AI could be, she agreed to report back to Nick about Kane's activities. Phyllis later lashed out at Kane for what he'd gotten her into. Kane offered to give his AI to Billy and Sally to take Victor down, while he and Phyllis kept their hands clean. Sally vehemently opposed Kane's plan, while Billy remained determined to get Chancellor back. After a heated clash with Billy, Jack pulled his funding from Abbott Communications and demanded that Billy remove their family name from the company. Jack vowed to do whatever it took to force Kane out of town. Sally feared that she would never be enough for Billy. Nick suspected Phyllis was on Kane's side. In an effort to keep the peace, Michael accepted the job as Kane's fixer. Kane instructed Michael to repair his relationship with Phyllis, but she was suspicious when Michael reached out to her. Tessa and Daniel's bond deepened when the men wrote a song together. Mariah confessed to Tessa that she'd almost killed a man. Sharon informed Nick that Noah was considering opening another club in LA, and they decided to take a trip to California together to see their son. With all the business warfare on the young and the restless, and the discussions about using AI software to take over the Genoa City companies, it feels like this would be the perfect time to bring back tycoon Tucker McCall. Some fans speculated Tucker might be Aristotle Dumas. Before the reveal in France, Chelsea even told Victor she thought Dumas was Tucker. He set her straight and told her Tucker was in prison in India. And when Kyle was arguing with Audra last week, he blamed her lack of humanity on her past relationship with Tucker. Sometimes when a character from the past gets mentioned multiple times on Y&R, it's a foreshadowing. Could Tucker possibly head back to GC after he serves his time? Kane stunned Billy on The Young and the Restless this week when he canceled Billy and Sally's launch party for Abbott Communications and offered Billy his AI software, giving him the power to take down Victor. Victor and Adam wish they could get their hands on the software, but Nick and Victoria have serious reservations, knowing it's a crime that carries a 10-year prison sentence. But Tucker would have no qualms about using it, since he fought dirty and was obsessed with taking over Jabot. And he would most likely try to steal Chancellor Industries also, since Catherine Chancellor was his mother. Tucker would admire Kane for being able to amass such a huge fortune in only 6 years. He would want to visit his train and have a drink with him. Victor doesn't like Kane or Tucker, and neither does Jack. So Tucker and Kane would be the outcast businessmen of Genoa City, and misery loves company. Kane would be impressed by Tucker's ruthlessness. We saw a prime example of that when Tucker paid Phyllis $2 million to hack into Billy's bank account in 2023 to make it appear he stole money from Jabot. Kane may decide he could use a guy like Tucker on his team. On Friday's episode of The Young and the Restless, Michael accepted Kane's job offer, although his true motive is to spy on Kane for Victor. If Tucker teamed up with Kane, maybe we would get Tucker and Michael in scenes together. We never really saw them interact much the last time Tucker was on the show. They could be interesting scene partners, since Kane hired Michael to be his fixer, and Tucker would think nothing of asking Michael to fix his problems too. Tucker had a fairly large fan base, and with Kane's return, and all the GC business people concerned about the future of their companies, we need Tucker back on the canvas to help Kane shake things up. If they joined forces, they could be the next 2 business powerhouses of Genoa City. Move over, Victor and Jack! The Young and the Restless spoilers tease that a family trip turns into disaster while sneaky obsessions and marriage sabotage are ready to rock and roll GC. Here's what to expect. Sharon Newman and Nick Newman plan a visit to LA to see their son Noah Newman. He's there to discuss opening a second nightclub with a funder, and things look rosy. Except that Noah could be getting involved with the wrong people. It's a good thing that Nick and Sharon are on hand, since Noah's life could be on the line. His parents realize that Noah is dealing with shady characters, and eventually they get Detective Burrow to investigate. While that's going on, Nick and Sharon do some spying, and we suspect they get closer. Sienna Bacall and Roger Howarth's mystery character are involved in this enticing plot, and spoilers hint that Shick are unprepared for what happens next. Next, Phyllis Summers eggs on Kane Ashby's obsession for power, and fans will see him start to resemble ruthless Aristotle Dumas all over again. Lily Winters is also on his domination agenda. Will she be the only one who can save him from the Dumas madness? She better work fast, since Kane is going off the rails fast. Meanwhile, Billy Abbott's obsession with ruining Victor Newman takes center stage. Billy Boy is lured by Kane's world domination AI program, and that puts his relationship with Sally Spectra on the ledge. Will he be rational or give in to addictive thinking? As busy as Phyllis is with Kane, she has time to cause trouble for Danny Romalotti and Christine Blair. In November, a 2-episode arc presents their marriage day, and Phyllis is up to mischief. Will Phyllis permanently sabotage Cricket and Danny? Be sure to tune in and find out as Christine and Danny prepare to say, "I do." The Young and the Restless spoilers say some exciting story developments are in the works, so stick with us for updates on all the surprises. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Monday, September 15th, suggest some interesting moments in Genoa City to kick off a new week. Someone ponders a fresh start, while 2 friends call a truce, and a character has a new agenda. What's on the horizon for Monday's show? Time to find out. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Monday, September 15th, reveal that Devon Hamilton Winters will encourage Lily Winters to make a fresh start. Is he talking about her love life? Devon isn't a fan of Kane Ashby, who is at this point, and he can see that his sister is still torn between her past with Kane and this new version of her ex. Can Devon convince Lily to cut ties with her ex-husband and the father of her children for good? Speaking of Kane, he'll fill in Amanda Sinclair about his new agenda. Amanda is not only his trusted attorney, but also his confidant, and the two definitely have a working relationship where he bounces ideas off her. What will Amanda think about Kane's new plan, and will she give her stamp of approval? Only time will tell. Finally, The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Monday, suggest that Michael Baldwin will call a truce with Phyllis Summers. Michael wanted to clear the air with Red for a while now, although Phyllis wasn't having it. What will change her mind? Is it because he's now working for Kane? Of course, the reason Michael extended an olive branch was because it's his first assignment as Kane's fixer. However, what he's really doing is acting as a mole for Victor Newman. Just how betrayed will Phyllis feel when she finds out the truth? What will Kane do? Fans will have to tune in to find out. What storyline are you most looking forward to during Monday's show? Share your thoughts. The Young and the Restless spoilers imply that Roger Howarth is slated to debut in a mystery role this fall. Could he offer Phyllis Summers the romance she so desperately needs? Time to talk about it. The Young and the Restless spoilers remind fans that Phyllis suffers from the always the bridesmaid, never the bride syndrome when it comes to, as of late. After Diane Abbott stormed into town, she easily snatched Jack Abbott from Red, only for Phyllis to bounce into another love triangle between her, Christine Blair, and Danny Romalotti. Phyllis once again got burned in that situation, and while there was a hint that she had feelings for her ex, Billy Abbott, those were quickly washed away when he fired her from Abbott Communications and placed Sally Spectra in her place. Everyone deserves love, so can the writers write Phyllis a love story with a man who only has eyes for her? Some fans may know that Roger Howarth and Michelle Stafford were once paired up at General Hospital when he played Franco Baldwin and she played Nina Reeves. Could Y&R attempt to recreate some of that magic? At the end of the day, it really depends on who Howarth is playing. If he enters a baddie role and has a quick stint with the soap, any hopes that Howarth could have a romance with Phyllis would be squashed. However, if Howarth is the Tucker McCall recast, then this might be good news for Phyllis's love life. Even if he isn't the McCall recast, but rather a character with staying power, there might be light at the end of the tunnel for Red and her fans who want to see her with someone long-term. Do you think Phyllis Summers could have good chemistry with the character Roger Howarth is playing? What if he's playing Tucker? Comment below. Watch your favorite CBS soap daily and check out this site often for the best Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates. Tune in to find out about the drama happening in Genoa City. The Young and the Restless spoilers weekly update for September 15th, 19. Tease that the week ahead features Jack's warning to Nikki as Kane charms Lily. Plus, Mariah confronts Daniel about Tessa. Tune in next week so you can catch all of the action in Genoa City. Monday, September 8th, 2025. Episode number 13205. Victor surprised Claire with unsettling information about Kyle, hinting that Kyle's loyalty wasn't what she thought. Claire pressed for answers, but grew uneasy about the mysterious deal Kyle had made with her grandfather. Elsewhere, Sally began questioning Billy's decision-making as he defended his risky business moves. Their friction highlighted cracks in their partnership. Meanwhile, Audra and Holden's tense encounter turned combative. The pair traded barbs and thinly veiled threats, with Holden warning her to back off Claire, while Audra dared him to expose their shared past. Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. Episode number 13206. Nick warned Phyllis about Kane's latest project, pushing her to see how dangerous aligning with him could be. Phyllis bristled at the criticism, insisting she could handle herself, but Nick reminded her that Kane's schemes carried consequences for everyone close to her. Across town, Kyle and Claire struggled to find common ground. Kyle's explanation of his arrangement with Victor left Claire torn between admiration for his sacrifice and anger at his secrecy. Later, Mariah made a shocking confession to Tessa, admitting that her mental health struggles had spiraled to the point where she tried to kill a man. Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. Episode number 13207. Jack grew concerned after receiving a cryptic message that suggested someone was targeting his business and possibly his family. Meanwhile, Billy and Sally arrived at their much-anticipated launch, only to discover Kane had sabotaged the event, canceling it before it even began. Their evening, meant to be a professional triumph, turned into humiliation. Sally was furious, while Billy tried to view Kane's interference as an opportunity. Meanwhile, Phyllis seized the moment to assert herself. With characteristic bravado, she declared she would be the one to control the game, leaving others to wonder if her ambition outweighed her loyalty. Thursday, September 11th, 2025. Episode number 13208. Jack demanded answers from Billy after learning about the botched launch and his brother's shady dealings with Kane. Their confrontation underscored the growing rift between the Abbott brothers. At the same time, Nick confided a closely guarded secret to Sharon, revealing just how deeply Kane's AI project could destabilize everything in Genoa City. Sharon urged him to be cautious, but Nick insisted he had to act. Meanwhile, Phyllis inserted herself into Sally's business, offering unsolicited advice about her future with Billy. Sally pushed back, but Phyllis's words left lingering doubts about whether her relationship could withstand the pressure. Friday, September 12th, 2025. Episode number 13209. Victor and Michael settled unfinished business, with Michael reluctantly agreeing to act as a go-between in Victor's ongoing war with Kane. Their renewed alliance was fragile, but pointed toward escalating battles. Kane, meanwhile, made a bold new alliance of his own with Michael. Across town, Sally wrestled with an ethical dilemma. Supporting Billy meant aligning with Kane, but she feared doing so would destroy both their reputations and their future together. Torn between love and survival, Sally realized her next move could define the path forward for them both. Joshua Morrow has been a cornerstone on The Young and the Restless for decades. The popular CBS soap star debuted in Genoa City as Nick Newman back in 1994 and has been a main character ever since. Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless straight to your inbox. In fact, Morrow has appeared in less than a dozen projects over the years because he has been so busy on Y&R. This week, the Young and the Restless actor took to X and announced that he is working on an exciting new project and encouraged fans to tune in. It's not what you would think, though. Joshua Morrow took to social media and shared this exciting message with soap opera fans that follow him. Any football fans? I'm trying something new. My dream has always been sports. Working with my bro Lucas at El Sin Brief and talking the Red River rivalry every week. Give a follow and listen if dig football. The soap opera star also shared a link to the first episode of the podcast, which teased at El Sin Brief and at Joshua Morrow YR go over Week 1 for Texas and Oklahoma, what to expect from Arch Manning, and how to assess OU versus Michigan as a Texas fan. If you follow Morrow on social media, then you are probably familiar with his interest in sports. Sadly, there aren't a whole lot of daytime soap fans who also watch college football. But anything the talented actor touches seems to turn to gold, so we're sure it's only a matter of time before his sports show picks up. There's no reason to think that Josh Morrow's new passion project will interfere with filming The Young and the Restless and his daytime gig as Nick Newman. Will you be checking out Morrow's new football commentaries? The Young and the Restless spoilers. Genoa City is no stranger to secrets, but Claire Newman's revelation may be one of the most devastating yet. From the moment she arrived, Claire carried herself with poise and grace, but beneath the surface lived shadows that even the brightest Newman spotlight couldn't erase. Her polite smiles masked a past filled with choices she dared not share. And though she worked hard to find her place in the powerful Newman dynasty, something about her always felt incomplete, like a piece of her was being deliberately hidden. Victoria Newman, no stranger to silence and scars herself, had long sensed her daughter's hesitation. A mother's instincts told her there was more behind Claire's guarded eyes, and when she finally pressed her to tell the truth, the confession shook them both. Claire admitted she had a child, a son she had entrusted to someone else's care in a desperate bid to protect him from the chaos of her past. Every day since, the boy haunted her thoughts. His laugh, his touch, the warmth of his hand in hers, all echoes she could never silence. Revealing the truth left Claire exposed, but Victoria's reaction stunned her. Rather than shame or rejection, her mother gave her something she had never expected: unconditional support. Victoria knew better than most what it meant to carry a secret that bent the spine. She had once hidden her own heartbreak, an abandonment that left scars buried deep beneath her polished exterior, and she refused to let her daughter suffer the same isolation. To Victoria, this was not scandal, it was truth. Her grandson deserved acknowledgement, not whispers behind closed doors. But Genoa City is a town where secrets rarely stay buried. And soon, a shadow emerged, Holden, mysterious, unpredictable, and always lingering at the edges of Claire's world. He knew about the child. And in a city where leverage is the most dangerous currency, his knowledge made him a threat that could unravel everything. Victoria, fierce as ever, turned to allies. She confided in Kyle Abbott, who understood the suffocating weight of family legacies. Together, they recognized the danger. Holden wasn't just an observer. He was deliberate, and if he held Claire's secret, then he planned to use it. The Newmans have faced corporate raiders and blackmailers before, but this battle isn't about business. It's about blood. Victoria made a vow. No Newman child would ever be hidden in the shadows again. Claire's son will be found, protected, and embraced as family. Still, questions linger. Where is the boy now? Can Holden be stopped before he twists the truth into a weapon? And will the Newman legacy survive when another explosive secret comes to light? The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Monday, September 15th, 2025. Fans can expect Michael Baldwin to call a truce with Phyllis Summers. Kane Ashby shares his new plan with Amanda Sinclair. Also, Devon Winters encourages Lily Winters to make a fresh start. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Devon, who will spend some time with Lily. Right now, Lily doesn't know what to do. The Kane bombshell was something unexpected, and people lost their lives. It might not have been directly Kane's fault, but if that party had never happened, then 3 people could still be alive right now. In any case, Lily still can't seem to get any straight answers from Kane. For the time being, Devon thinks that Lily should focus on getting a fresh start. So, how does Lily plan to do that when Kane is in Genoa City? Over with Michael, he has made a deal with Victor Newman. They both thought it was quite interesting that Phyllis is involved with Kane's plan. So, Michael has made a move to meet up with Red and talk to her. Michael hopes to get Phyllis in their corner. However, Victor has a lot of enemies. On the other hand, Michael is very good with words and can usually get people to hear his take on things. Michael and Phyllis do agree to call a truce. However, will they take that one step further and strike a deal? The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, September 15th reveal that Kane will tell Amanda about his new agenda. However, I wonder if Amanda will still be on board or not. The lawyer already warned Kane about going up against someone like Victor. The tycoon is determined to get everything he wants, both professionally and personally. Fans might also see Claire Grace Newman and Holden Novak continue to get closer. Claire doesn't like that Kyle Abbott is making jealous accusations. Claire will have friends, and Holden is one of them. Of course, Holden did some smooth-talking the minute Claire appeared. So, maybe Kyle is right about Holden's motives. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Monday, September 15th, 2025?